Hi everyone, it's Emilia here. Welcome to another video for Lemoncraft. In this video I'm going to make two cards out of one paper, 12 by 12 paper, Dream Day 02. It's blue on one side and flowery on the other side, and I'm going to do two cards. So for the first card I'm going to choose the flowery paper on the bottom and the blue on the top, and the other one opposite, so blue paper on the top, on the bottom, and flowery on the top. But before I will stick anything on, I'm going to die cut the leaves from the bottom layer, from the first layer. I do it very often as I think it's a great way of using that bottom layer, which it won't be seen at all, as I'm going to stick on another layer on top of it. My card is 11.5 by 16.5 centimeters. The first layer is 11 by 16 centimeters and the second layer 10.2 by 15.2 centimeters. I also have added machine stitches on top layers, but it's not necessary. And I'm going to cut out some elements from the sheet Vintage Time 008, especially clocks, butterflies and flower arrangements. I have few strips left from that 12 by 12 paper, and I'm going to use them to create under the flowers arrangements. 3 pieces on the right card and only 1 bigger pieces on the other side, and I'm going to stick them on together with the cheesecloth. First I'm just stretching it so it looks a little bit damaged. I like when it's stretched and distressed basically, so I'm sticking the cheesecloth and the strips. The cheesecloth will not be seen much later, but I do like when there is a texture under the flower composition. I like lots of elements, that's why even you cannot see it whole later, you know, you can see it here and there, and this is what I think gives a nice romantic look to the card. And as you can see, I do not stick the cheesecloth very flat. I just ruffle it a little bit, so it gives us additional dimension. And also I'm using the foam pads for the top layer, and also secure it with a little bit of hot glue. I am pushing up a little bit the edges of the paper and tear here and there to create the distress look. And before I create my flower composition, I also want to create some embossed flowers. So what I'm going to do, I'm stamping the flowers with the white ink. You can use embossing ink on the vellum, and I'm going to emboss it in white. You could emboss it in any other, maybe pastel colors, light pink or mint, but I do like white, and I think these elements looks great on the card, so I'm going to use a few later. And these flowers are great because they got really nice and easy shape to cut out. You don't need to use dies for them. So I'm going to create my flower compositions now. I have chosen few chipboards from scrappy knits to add to my card, 1 frame and some leaves and branches. And before I stick it on, I'm going to ink the edges with the brown ink. And then the frame actually will not work as a frame on my card, it will be like a decorative element, and the other element too. So I will stick the frame first, then I'm going to play with those elements which I got around me, and I will stick the flower almost last. So I started with the clock, as you can see, and those flowers. It's easier for me to start with the big elements and then add the smaller elements around or underneath. And I will not stick the blue flower yet, as I'm going to push some leaves and the other elements underneath it, and then I will stick it almost last. It's difficult when you will stick the flower on, it's difficult to add anything underneath or around even, because some elements, as you can see, are bigger. That's why I want to create the texture underneath the flower first. I hope you will get the idea, and maybe it will help you when you create your card. So I'm sticking some leaves on, and my card will be almost finished. I will add lots of glitter at the end, but also I want to add one button from the Lemoncraft, and you can see on the right there is like a bottle cap, and I'm going to stick the button inside it first and then stick it on the clock on my card. And I have bought those bottle caps on eBay. If I will find the link, I'm going to add it below the video. And after a while I realized that the buttons from Lemoncraft are perfect size for the bottle caps, and I think it looks really nice together. So I'm going to stick that on the clock, and I will start embellishing the other card. So very similar here. I will start with the elements underneath the flower. And what I wanted to say here as well, that very often I do not have an idea for the card. I'm not sure what I will create. How I work is that I take the paper or I take embellishments and I try to work around it. So maybe I like the paper and I will choose it first, and then choose embellishments which will match the paper, and then I'm trying to create with something I've got on the table. Not very often is like that I've got specific idea and I know what I want. Very often it's just a surprise, even for me. So even if you do not, what I wanted to say, that even if you do not have an idea, you can take out some elements and play with them and see what you can come with. Sometimes some ladies tell me, oh, I cannot do it, you know, you are really great, but I'm not. And I wasn't great as well, and I think the more I make, the better I am, and I think it will work for everyone. So if you like to creating, just, you know, take the stuff you've got and create something, and you will see that after a few cards you are getting better and better, and you have more ideas, and definitely you can compose the card quicker, and I'm sure you will see the difference, your latest cards to your older cards. When I look for on my old cards, they are horrible. Really, they are so ugly. I wish I never made them, but I did, and I had to work really hard to, you know, to improve myself. I was pushing myself to do it more and more, and now I am pretty happy with this, what I create. But also it's not for me like always like, oh wow, I did great. No, I think I can still do better and better, and I hope you will think the same about yourself. Okay, back to the card. I sticked on a little bottle filled with the glitter. I also added a string around the top of the bottle, and I sticked on the string and the bottle. And now I'm adding the sentiments. There are just printed sentiments with love. I'm adding the foam pad and also secure it with the hot glue. I also inked the edges of the sentiment. And now I only will be adding the glitter, lots of glitter. I got the silver and white glitter and also dark brown glitter. So thank you very much for staying with me. I hope I can inspire you to create your own cards. And also please visit Lemoncraft blog. They've got lots of beautiful inspirations. and if you create similar cards, I would love you to tag me on social media. Thank you very much. I hope to see you very soon. Have a lovely creative day. Bye bye.